All right, so now that we've done the Euros, I guess it's time to move on to the tournament that the United States just were embarrassed in. Also, Mexico, by the way, can we not like in what has been an extremely hard day to be an American yesterday and today? Can we not just take some solace in the fact that Mexico was really, really bad in this tournament? Can we? Do we? I feel good about it. Do you feel good about it?
I feel great about it, and it always cracks me up when the pundits start talking about it. And I forgot who it was. I think it was Herculez Gomez. I forgot who it was. What was the other game? What was the other guy's name? Sebastian Salazar or
Yeah,
whatever.
Sebastian Salazar.
Yeah. So the Mexican Soccer Federation rather play games in the U.S. to get the money, the gate money, rather than putting this team through like the fires of hell and putting them against like the best of the world.
Well, they
So
don't play as Azteca as much. They used to have the lungs, man. Mexico always
yeah,
had the lungs. They would just run you into the goddamn ground, man.
I think a lot of teams counter. They found ways to counteract that. I think, well, like the U.S. men's national team goes trained up in the Rockies or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
You
and we've
know,
won there once. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but
So
like, so what we're watching right now live in this moment is Costa Rica is going to win in seconds from now against Paraguay. And the problem is
they won.
they won. So then they only have 4 points. Okay, so never mind. They were never in it anyway. Okay. So Colombia and Brazil, if results hold, which they're only a minute or so away from finishing, then we're looking at a Brazil Uruguay in the round of 16. How do you feel about Brazil versus Uruguay out the gate?
Well, I mean, Uruguay is ahead right now. Uruguay is becoming a heavy hitter in South America. I think they always have been. They've been that one, you know.
They were always, how like for a hot second it was Mexico and U.S. and Costa Rica. That's
Yeah,
kind of what's happening. Is they're like they kind of bumped Colombia out of the conversation, and now they're like we're hanging out with Brazil and Argentina.
yep.
Like
They got away from that. Yeah, we're not taking that fifth playoff spot anymore. We're
right,
going direct.
yeah. So they're
So
I don't know who survives that. That's gonna be a bar fight.
that's gonna be a bar fight. That's the one game that probably will. Was it Saturday night? Yep. I think I might sit down and watch that one.
Well,
It's gonna
before
be a
that
good game.
game, you'll get to watch Colombia play Panama. Is there any chance in hell
Mm,
Panama does the Panama?
no, this team, and it's crazy because these two teams, and we're talking about historical aspect. These countries have some history together, so it adds on. So should be an interesting matchup.
It is. It will be an interesting matchup. So the other two matchups that we got is Argentina Ecuador. I mean, they're just gonna march, right? Lionel Messi. Let's say the name
Yeah.
out loud for the algorithm. Lionel Messi and Argentina are just gonna march right over them. I don't.
Yep, they're just gonna go walk through right them.
I mean,
They're gonna be a
Ecuador.
practice match.
Ecuador obviously beat Mexico, right? Which was
They
lit.
tied.
Oh, they tied. Okay, but yeah, see, Ecuador just snuck in because Mexico was so bad. Is kind of how I feel.
Yeah.
So then after that, you got Venezuela, Canada, which could possibly,
Ooh.
quite possibly, turn into the game of the tournament. You know what I mean?
You got the two like stepchild.
You got the two outliers, right?
Outliers of the region, the two stepchild of the region, kind of like Venezuela has always been the worst South American team since like since
Well,
whatever
no,
since
no,
ever.
Bolivia. They were better in
Well, no,
Bolivia.
no, I don't know. I'm talking about in general, like historically speaking. They've never been to a World Cup, by the way. Venezuela has never been to a World Cup.
Really?
Yep. So they always been that team. If you look at past qualifiers,
Well, okay, hold on. Not to talk a lot of shit, but I guess it
yeah,
makes sense because they would start Ali Moreno as striker, right? You know, like,
And
which
guess
I
what?
remember when he was scoring goals for the Crew. I liked him, right? He was cool. But
Yeah.
like, yes, you're having trouble qualifying for a World Cup out of South America if your striker plays in MLS in
Oh,
2007. You know what I mean?
and
Like, I feel
yeah.
you.
And look where he's at now.
He he
He's like,
he wearing a suit every day, my man.
yep. He's on TV, hyping up the U.S. men's national team. Where at least up until the other night, where he literally bashed. So
Yeah, I didn't mean
yeah,
to really talk shit. I actually really I've really enjoyed Ali Moreno's
no,
like
Ali Moreno's
post
awesome,
playing
man.
career.
I love hearing his take, because the man played for Venezuela. It's not like necessarily he played here,
Right?
but
I'm not crazy. It was Venezuela,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it was
Okay.
Venezuela. But the man's I like listening to his take, but I get Venezuela, historically speaking, in the World Cup qualifiers has always been that last place team. Up until the past like 10 years, 10, 15 years, they've gotten a little bit better. And now they're actually not bad.
Well, I
So,
mean, Canada's got to have more talent than that team, right?
well, didn't they just lose? They just lost Tejan Buchanan earlier
Oh
today.
yeah, I heard. Yeah, so yeah, it sounded like he went to the hospital from practice, so he
He went
broke
up.
something. He broke
I
something.
think he had a tibia injury.
Oh no,
So
that's brutal. And like,
so that could literally derail any mentality this team has.
well, and they're
So
thin. They're thin, right? Let's not
yeah,
pretend Canada isn't 11 players plus 2. You know what I mean? Like they're not.
yeah,
They're not a full. They're not. They're not reaching deep in their bench, right? So
they're like the U.S. men's national team in 2010.
yeah, you know what? You got a point. You got a point. So so Jesse Marsh leading Canada. How do we feel? How do we feel? I think we just did a whole segment about why didn't we hire Jesse Marsh instead of Greg
So
Berhalter.
so at this point, if Canada were to lose like 5-0 or 10, 5-0 against Venezuela, the man's keeping his job.
Well, yeah, of course. They
Yeah,
could
he's
lose
not.
10-0, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
no, he's had 10.
no, no,
Yeah, he
no.
started last
They
week. It's
found
fine.
yeah, they found their golden goose now. So they're
He's
not
got a
letting it
name
go.
tag that says, "Hello, my name is Jesse. It's my first week."
Exactly.
uh,
So for all we know, freaking, they probably set him up in his old place in Montreal.
you never know, man. Well, I'm sure they're out of Toronto, right? But
Yeah.
so I don't want to go through the whole rest of the tournament. I just want to say this: who you got right now? How does it feel before the round of 8 kicks off? How do you feel? Who do you think's taking the Copa?
Who's taking the Copa? I honestly think Uruguay is.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna say Panama. No, Uruguay.
No, Panama's not Turkey.
I mean, if Uruguay beats Brazil, then they've got Colombia. They've got a gauntlet to get through to get to probably Argentina, who's going to walk Ecuador and then the winner of Venezuela, Canada, right? So you've got Argentina coming out of that side. Whoever gets through that other side is a G, because if Brazil beats Uruguay, then Chile or not Colombia, you know what I mean? Then they're golden. If Uruguay does it, they're golden. If Colombia a little less impressive if they beat Panama than one of the other guys. But still, like, I don't know, man.
If Uruguay is gonna go through that through hell and back to get to the final, I mean, stuff like that does things to a team, So especially if let's say Argentina cakewalks past who they're playing again, I don't even know. Against
They play Ecuador and then they play Venezuela,
yeah.
Canada.
Yeah, so if they get past those teams, it's I don't know. Like I honestly think that it's either going to be Colombia or Uruguay.
Yeah, I mean, whoever it is on that side will be battle tested, and Argentina
Yep.
will be fresh. So it's like, who do you got? It's hard to bet against Argentina with this. I just think
But
I think the Uruguays, Brazils, and Colombias are just going to beat themselves apart. By the time they get to Argentina, they're going to have yellow cards and injuries and tired players. Honestly, that's my thoughts.
so my thing is that, like, for example, they beat Argentina in Argentina
Yeah,
2-0.
they did. They most
They
certainly
beat
did.
they beat Brazil 2-1. So this is not like a team that doesn't know what they're doing and they're getting this. This is not a Cinderella team. This is a team that is battle tested.
No,
You
they're on
know,
the come up. Yeah, they're
yeah.
ready.
Who do you know goes to Argentina and beats them 2-0? Not a 1-0, not a, like, a flimsy goal. This was 2-0. You know, and Messi's house, and the house that Messi built. Who does that?
Not many. All right, well, talking about a messy house, we're going to end this segment, and we're going to come back to you with one of the most cheery things on planet Earth, the Supreme Court. No, the Chicago Fire. We're going to talk about the Chicago Fire, everybody. Stay tuned. Peace.